Monitoring and surveillance are a key element of physical security for any organisation, whether they're a large multinational or a local business. However, in an age of internet-connected cameras and AI-enabled video analysis, this is as much part of the IT decision-maker's realm as server infrastructure or collaboration software, and there are many factors that should be taken into account when planning the rollout or expansion of video surveillance technology. You're probably used to seeing grainy, poor-quality CCTV footage on news reports, but many modern IP cameras are actually capable of recording at extremely high levels of quality, even up to 4K in some cases. Capturing surveillance footage at greater image quality allows details to be spotted more easily, but it also results in larger file sizes. The same is true for frame rates. Recording with more frames per second gives smoother motion and therefore more opportunities to capture rapid movements, but requires greater storage capacity. It can be tempting to limit both the frame rate and resolution of surveillance systems in order to save on storage costs, but be warned that the lower the quality of your footage, the less useful it may be when you need to analyse it. You also need to consider how long to keep footage on file before deleting it. If you work in a particular industry vertical or geographic region, there may be specific regulations mandating how long to store surveillance footage. For example, Illinois requires footage to be maintained for a minimum of 90 days and 2 years if flagged. In the UK, however, there are no laws governing how long to keep footage. The police's recommendation is to keep it for a month in most cases, but you may want to structure your retention policies around your business calendar, keeping files for the last month, quarter, or year. It's also possible to set up multi-tier retention policies to maximise the availability of footage without having to keep adding more disk capacity. For instance, you might keep recent footage in a high-capacity on-prem storage array in your own data centre for a certain period, and then offload it to an easily accessible hot cloud service like Wasabi for archiving once that period has elapsed. When deploying a video surveillance system, the first thing you'll need to do is calculate how much storage capacity you'll require. This can be tricky, and there are numerous online calculators you can use to help you, but here's a good rule of thumb. One camera, recording in 1080p resolution at 30 frames per second, stored at medium quality and running for 24 hours a day, generates roughly 700 gigabytes of data per day. This rough estimate, 700 gigabytes per camera per day, should give you some indication of how much storage you're looking at. If your surveillance network includes more than a handful of cameras operating with a retention policy of more than a week or two, chances are good that you'll be looking at dozens or even hundreds of terabytes. You can reduce this figure by shortening your retention periods, lowering video quality, or reducing the number of cameras. But this comes at the risk of potentially compromising your security in the event of an incident. It's better to retain video quality and extend your retention periods by archiving footage with one of the lower-cost hot cloud storage providers. In addition to improving security, there are a number of other ways that a robust surveillance infrastructure can add value to an organisation, such as footfall tracking, pattern analysis, and more. To learn more about how you can get the most out of your video surveillance architecture, click the link in the description.